Apollo and Daphne, legendary god of light and beautiful river nymph. It might sound like a pretty straightforward love story from Greek mythology, but was that really the case? Let's find out together right now. Apollo, on his return from slaying the monster Python in Delphi, comes across Eros, otherwise known as Cupid, practicing with his bow and arrow. Arrogant from his victory, Apollo begins to mock Eros, telling him to leave the weapons of war to the stronger gods like himself. This infuriated Eros, who, filled with a desire for vengeance, climbed to the top of Mount Parnassus and unleashed 2 arrows into the sky from his famous bow. The first arrow, sharp and gold-tipped, pierced the heart of Apollo, causing him to fall instantly and uncontrollably in love with the water nymph Daphne. The second arrow, blunt and lead-tipped, struck Daphne and instilled in her an intense aversion for love and a particular dislike for Apollo. Impelled by the power of Eros's bow, Apollo rushed to Daphne and began to speak of his love for her, pleading to take her as his wife. Equally under the spell of the magical arrow, she was disgusted by the notion and deeply afraid of Apollo. She fled from him, but he pursued her, unable to resist the temptation and desire in his heart. The chase was never-ending, and eventually Daphne begged for help from her father, the river god Peneus, crying out, "Open the earth to enclose me, or change my form, which has brought me into this danger. Let me be free of this man from this moment forward." Her plea was answered, and her form was lifted into the air, transforming in a blur of light as she was changed into a glorious laurel tree, free at last from the desire of Apollo. But despite her new form, Apollo remained connected to her spirit, and the overwhelming emotion of lust that had been consuming him changed in an instant to a dark grief, pain and sadness coursing throughout his body. He vowed to honour her forever, rendering her tree evergreen and declaring the laurel the symbol of tribute to poets. A fascinating myth that had a long-lasting impact on Greek culture. The word for laurel in the Greek language is Daphne, as it also became the official symbol of the great god Apollo himself. Even to this day, the laurel wreaths presented to victors in the Olympic Games trace back to this myth. The Games originally held in honour of Apollo. It is a story that shows the jealousy and pettiness of these immortal beings through Eros and his need for vengeance so extreme, as well as the power and danger of lust disguised as love. Most of all, it shows these godly beings as not so different to us after all, just flawed human beings. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more great stories. Cheers.